Good luck. I'll see if I can get the key to open up a little more. It'll be just like talking to my great aunt
So,
Kidda.
this is a good example on how to do the fight, where she's going to throw knives at people, and you have to block them with the pillars. However, most people just run at them. Alright.
Protected.
Two people are going to go down here. Or we can kill it before then. Nice.
Kadim will seal the rightful supremacy of Jinn. Our power will shake the very mountains.
Your alliance with Kadim is tearing your city apart.
What he destroys, I shall rebuild.
All the honks. Alright. Well, do we have anyone who's not new to Adina?
I'm new. Oh, not new, sorry.
Alright. So, in my opinion, of the first two bosses, this is the easier of the two. However, it is new raiders struggle with this a lot because it's a very punishing boss fight. But once you learn it, the fight will never change. It's one of those fights where it's going to start off as the hardest boss, but once you know it, it's the easiest boss in the wing. Alright, so how we're going to do this is I want my tank to come here over to circle. So the reason we choose a pillar is because Adina is going to have a mechanic where, actually I can just show you, where she'll do this. Now if you are not behind a pillar, a dagger is going to shoot out and just smash you. So let's go ahead and GG. Additionally, I see over on square 2 people went down. That's because each pillar only blocks 2 attacks. So we need people paired off in 2s for this. A healer and a tank usually go to arrow. Everything else is kind of random. Now, that pillar is a constant mechanic throughout this fight. She will choose the 5 furthest people away from her to get a AoE circle that follows them. You'll then wait for it to expire and place it down outside of the group, and then run back in and continue DPSing. You'll DPS, she'll do a little spin, shoot out a blind if you are looking at her, but by then you should already be running towards your pillar. And then she channels to destroy the room, the pillar breaks, and you run back in. And that's just going to constantly be happening in this fight. Now, we can actually predetermine who is going to be those pillars. The easiest way to do that, one second, let me put that there, I'll get back to that, is do you notice that mossy stone underneath her? Anyone who's not pillar baiting, we're going to have basically be in that stone, just like right there. And everyone who is pillar baiting is just going to stand out right there. So we're going to stack very tightly. That way X can still melee the boss. Does this make sense?
Yeah.
Alright. Now do I have any volunteers for pillar baiting? Go ahead and jump on your pillar if you would like to pillar bait. One of you at each pillar needs to be pillar baiting. Perfect. We have our pillar baiters. Now, it is very important that you do not get too close to Sabir or Adina, else you will somebody else will get your pillar, and then it adds a little bit of confusion, and sometimes that can cause chaos and wipes. Now, for my non-pillar baiters, if anybody dies in this fight, one of you is randomly going to get a pillar. So you just need to know, don't panic, just bring it outside of the group and not in front of Adina. That's why Arrow and Star are a little bit to the side. That's because Adina's AoE attack will start taking durability off the pillar. Now, any questions on pillar baiting and pillars in general?
So the pillar baiting is not gonna be the whole fight. It's only section It is like a marker where I know I should be falling behind.
So the marker, when she does the throwing daggers at people, you are going to run back to whichever pillar you started this fight at. So for example, I'm on arrow. I'm always going to go to arrow, and so on. Some things will change about that. For example, if we have 2 people die, we will merge pillars. What that means is if 2 pillars are dropped in the same location, only one will come up. Additionally, if we have 1 person die, a neat trick you can do is drop a pillar next to an existing pillar and it destroys the previous one, and then only the new one exists. The reason we would want this is Adina gets a DPS buff of I think like 20% for every pillar that exists. So we do want these pillars to be going away. It's not the biggest of deal if we have like 1 or 2 up, but the later in the fight it gets, the scarier that is. Alright, so my tank. You haven't tanked this before because I think you're new to this fight as well.
Yeah.
Pretty much you are always going to keep her pointed south. And you'll stand in that mossy tile, that way you never get it. You should pretty much always be the closest to her. So, also, what's your toughness?
1745.
Alright, no one have more than that. Okay, so tanking this fight is really simple. You pretty much are going to stand still, and do you have a block in your kit? Because you're on Scrapper, right?
Yeah.
So
Yes.
Shield 5 is a block.
Okay, yeah.
So she has 2 attacks that you kind of have to worry about. The first is going to be a Cone AoE that you are going to want to block or give yourself stability. So you pretty much just block it. What this does is if you're hit by it, it knocks you back, and it moves with you, so you can't just sidestep it. This second attack is where that knockback becomes scary. She'll put a bunch of stalagmites in a cone behind you. And if anyone touches these stalagmites, they blow up and destroy the floor there. And do a lot of damage. For you, they will hurt a lot. For everyone else, they'll put you downstate in the quicksand. So what you do is you just kind of sit there tanking, and whenever you see that AoE cone, you throw up your block. And that's it. Alright. Do you have any questions on that?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. Everyone else, don't touch the Hershey Kisses. They will kill you and hurt a lot. So we're gonna be DPSing her down, dropping these pillars, running back to our pillars quite a bit until we hit 25. Come again? Oh, sorry, I thought I heard someone talking. Until we hit 25%, at which point I want you guys to get away from Sabir, or Adina, because you don't want to be in her hitbox. She's going to do kind of like a Sabbatha flame wall, except it's going to be pointed north and south, and slowly spin counterclockwise. After this phase does exactly 1 revolution, we are going to be meeting up over on Spiral, because there's going to be 2 hands. 1 is over here on Spiral, 2 is just right over here. And they are going to need to get killed. We kill the one over on Spiral because they actually have different abilities. The Spiral one has a buff called, or a debuff called Erosion that makes everyone take an increased damage. No one except our tank cares about this, but once the tank has too many stacks of Erosion, we will all straight up die because the tank will start getting one shot and things get real sad real fast. So we kill this one first. This one over here throws knockdown things. And this is where the Revenant bubble comes into play. So my Revenant, can I have you take... Oh, you already have Tablet. Awesome. basically during these hand phases, you throw out bubble to where the group is should be standing, and you leave bubble, and you just want to keep this bubble up for as long as possible. I don't really care if you're alacrity dips during this fight or during this phase, but just keep that bubble up as long as possible. Does that make sense?
So where do I place it? On top
You'll
of
place it pretty much right in front of the hands, where we'll all be DPSing. And then once we kill this hand, you just throw it over to the other hand. Because it's a projectile destruction.
Alright. So I just put the tablet on top of the hands.
Yep,
Alright.
everyone be in the bubble. The bubble is safety. Alright, so after then, the tank can leave the second hand a little bit early to get Adina facing southbound for tanking again. And then we'll just DPS, do the exact same phase as the 100 to 50%. The only difference is the floor just looks a little different. So we'll DPS her to 50%. We'll have another twister phase. The only difference is now we are meeting up over on Star. The reason is that now there's 4 hands that we have to deal with, and we would like to finish on the north side, that way all the DPS don't have to run through Adina. It's this phase where keeping the bubble up is going to be a little bit more difficult, so I would advise using like anything other than auto attacks and such, just to try to prolong how long that tablet is out for. And that is pretty much the whole fight. From 50 to 25, it's the same thing. Or from 25 to 0, it's the same thing. We're meeting up on Star, killing all 4 of the hands, DPSing down until we kill the boss. The only thing that's different is sometimes hands will spawn during the last phase of Adina. And that's when I'll just call for the tablet or bubble to be up. And it's kind of a DPS race at the end. Does this make sense? Alright. One last thing. If for whatever reason you find yourself in the quicksand, it will bounce you back up. The only way it may not bounce you back up is if you are panicking and jumping. That will glitch out the mechanic a little bit, and you won't always bounce back up. So just sit or stand there, and it will bounce you back up. You'll just be blinded and take a lot of damage. Alright. Also start this fight mounted, so you don't take damage at the beginning of the fight.
Does it matter which mount we choose?
Just not roller beetle. Else you'll be catapulted off the platform. Or
Can I
turtle
just ask
flying.
something?
What?
I'm just curious. So the tank will stack in south, like here, right?
Yes.
So why is the tank at circle and not at arrow?
The tank should be at arrow. I told the tank to be over here on arrow. Alright.
First you told me to come to circus, so yeah, bit of confusion. Sorry.
Just to be clear, for the star pillar, it's not like here where it's standing here. It will be at star, right?
You don't need to drop them exactly on the markers. Just place them close to the markers. And in fact, in any phase except for the first one, you won't actually be able to drop them on the marker. It's just so that way you or whoever started at the same pillar as you knows where to go.
Okay.
I just put them out here so that way people don't place it right here, and then Adina cleaves the pillar down.
Okay.
Circle, do you know who's pillar baiting? Now that he had a swap. Okay, cool. Ready when you are. Here we go.
Fast as the wind.
You won't live to see.
Oh, don't!
Perseus
You need to be behind the pillar.
or mine.
Sorry, got mixed up.
Give up yet?
Stuff.
Alright, go drop our pillars.
I'm in bad shape.
Alright, let's go ahead and GG. So we had someone panic and they didn't get, or one of our baiters did not get pillars. And then someone else got pillar and dropped it in the group. So there's two AoEs that the pillar does. One is if you're actually standing on the tile that it is there, it will straight up kill you. The second is like 1 or 2 tiles around it is a blinding AoE that makes it so you do no damage for the next 10 seconds. Now we want to make sure it's never dropped on group, regardless of if you are kiter or not. If you're not, just go ahead and drop it back by heart and we'll figure it out. Alright, we'll give it another pull. Reminder that all my baiters need to be not on the green tile, and all my non-baiters, you need to be as tight onto triangle as possible, else this will not work.
Sorry, I'm one of the people who didn't pick. I'm supposed to be pillar, but I didn't pick it. When you
Then
say
you weren't
picking it,
further enough
I don't
away
know
from the
that
boss.
I should be further enough from the boss to pick it up. That's what
Ye-
you're saying.
yes.
Oh, gotcha. Thank you.
Or somebody was too far away from the boss that wasn't supposed to.
Somebody was behind me and he picked it up instead of me.
So you should
I
not
was
be on the
melee.
moss, and everybody else should be on the moss.
Okay, so I switched to not melee weapon. Okay.
Oh, you can still melee the boss from X.
All right. Okay.
Because melee has like 300 range, which is plenty enough.
Gotcha.
Alright, here we go.
Come then. You won't live to
No,
see
no, no, come back, come back,
Kadim's
come back.
dominion.
Oh man, sorry.
You're fine.
I'm just a bit confused.
So,
This is my wrath.
if you are not baiting, I want you as close to triangle as possible. Alright, and then you come back in. Perfect. And then you can just regroup back up.
You will
Alright,
be
get to your pillar.
blinded by the brilliance of
Look
my
away from the boss. And run back in. Pillars out. And back in. You want to be a little bit closer to the boss. Head to your pillars. The reason for that is if you're standing on the moss, you'll never get hit by the stalagmites. For my tank.
Okay.
earth shall inherit
Alright, out of the hitbox, out of the hitbox, out of the hitbox.
be risen above the
Oh,
cosmos
that's our
of
tank.
air and fire.
Nope, you're fine. We're just going to continue so that way
This
you
is
see
way
the hand
harder
phase.
than Wing 1, for sure.
Alright, and then you're meeting up over here. Alright, throw out bubble. Alright, you will not get knocked back as long as you are in that bubble. And so come over here, jump over. So here's where you would move the bubble.
Protected.
This is my wrath.
Alright, and then we'll go ahead and GG. Good phase 1. I should be able to drop a marker.
Does the boss have any CC phase?
0. You do not need CC in this fight.
Alright.
Actually, I don't have... I'm going to move triangle just for our tank. For the tank, you're pretty much just going to stand there.
Okay.
And that's all you'll have to do. And then all you'll do is you block the cone attack. So, everybody who's not kiting, just be as close up to Adina as you can, but don't be in front. Here we go.
Come
Fury
then.
rising.
You won't live to see Kadim's dominion. Or
And here we go.
Finish it. I feel energized. Attack.
Alright, head to your pillars. Anytime you hear her roar, you know you can just head over to the pillars. Or she will say you'll be blinded by my light. Go drop your pillars.
Beautiful blend of talents.
Alright, we're phasing in 3%.
You will be blinded by earth.
Alright, out of the hitbox.
I've already risen above the cardinals of water and fire.
The closer you are to the boss, the easier it is to run from this tornado. And we're meeting up at Spiral. There is a shockwave you can dodge. It's the ground you have to dodge, not the air. But it's not the biggest deal if you don't dodge it. Bubble up, stand in the bubble. Move the bubble.
Pain.
Perfect.
Need support. Attack.
And now we return the phase again. You can drop the bubble.
Need some healing here.
Zero tolerance.
To battle again. The new dawn will find you wanting.
To your pillars.
But
Protected.
1 second. Alright, jump and then you... once. Alright, let's go ahead and GG.
sorry.
Nope, you're fine.
I'm not at my best.
The last two pillars between me and you was too close, right?
No, they were fine.
Okay.
As long as they don't literally come up on tiles next to each other, or on top of each other, they won't break.
I see. No, I mean, they're not gonna buff the boss. They are far away from it.
They buff the boss regardless. It's just the existence of pillars gives her strength. And how they... it doesn't really matter too much. It's when people don't go to their pillars, and then those pillars stay up, and then people drop new pillars elsewhere, and we start getting to like 8 to 10 pillars. That's when things get really bad. But other than that, you don't really need to worry about it too much.
Thank you.
But yeah, we are looking good. I would say this is a great intro to the Path of Fire bosses.
Or mine. This is my wrath.
I will end you.
Alright, go drop your pillars.
That feels better.
Maximum pain.
Remember that you are still standing close enough to receive boons, though. So your boons are a little low on some people.
You chose this.
Pillars out. Once you've dropped your pillar, you can also just run back into the center, you know, out of the hitbox, out of the hitbox, out of the hitbox.
I've already risen above the cardinals of water and fire.
Because the next phase that she does after you drop a pillar is destroying the pillars, so you know that you don't need to be baiting at that moment. We're meeting up at Spiral. Dodge this if you feel like you want to. It's not the biggest of deal, but it makes you look cool. Bubble up. Perfect. Move the bubble. Dodge. If you're ever not in that bubble and you see that hand across from you going to throw, tank to go tank. You can actually dodge that attack. Pillars out. Circle pillar yours is going to be off a little bit, but it should be fine.
The new dawn will find
To your pillars.
wanting.
You'll need to res me after this.
Protected.
Tank go. Tank go. Pick your tank up.
Too strong to stay down.
Someone took my pillar out of group, out of group, out of group, out of group. We have a pillar in group. You guys have to be aware for when you have pillars, even if you were a kiter or not.
By the brilliance
To your
of
pillars.
the rise.
Alright, go drop your pillars. Unfortunately, we won't really be able to destroy that pillar by placing close enough because it's too close to the group. And we're always going to have one pillar that's kind of up.
Blinded by the brilliance
Alright,
of my
to your pillars.
Overcharge the reactor.
Pillars out.
Your power
Out of the
rate is
hitbox, out of the
destroying
hitbox.
balance.
Oh,
Silence is outworn.
we're just going to continue. Just so you see what the 4 phases look like. We are meeting up on Star. It's a little bit off from Star, but it's right here.
Protected.
Bubble up.
Amazing I am.
Nice. You move the bubble. Alright, and then we're going to have to narrowly cross through this. You'll move the bubble halfway. Move it halfway. Alright, and then all the way. I got them.
Assistance, please. Pain.
Bubble.
He's down.
Alright, let's go ahead and GG.
Transferring
So you can be a little more aggressive moving that bubble. You'll always want it to be where we're about to be. Especially once you've seen the hands already throw, you know it's safe to move the bubble as long as we're not going to be there when they throw again. But we're looking good. Advice for my tank. You're doing great. Like, honestly. Don't worry about rezzing. Don't worry about anything outside of standing on triangle, blocking the cone knockback attack, and getting to arrow when you're during the blinding phase. If there's ever 3 people at arrow, one of us is going to hop out and essentially take the bullet. That way you're guaranteed to live, and then you're going right back and tanking. Because if you're trying to res, then Adina's hitting everyone that's trying to res, including the downstate.
Hitting you with the function scrapper thing, gyro.
Okay.
But that took like a second, so yeah, maybe should have gone back first.
You're fine. It's also a range thing, so you can drop it from triangle. Alright, here we go.
Come then. You won't live to see Kadim's dominion. Or mine.
Pillars out.
You will be blinded
Head to
by
your
the
pillars.
brilliance of my rise.
Close.
Why do I play with camera shake on? Because this is a new account, and my main used to have camera shake until I started streaming and everyone yelled at me for it. I just haven't changed it. I don't notice it. Alright, head to your pillars. Alright, out of the hitbox. Out of the hitbox. Oh. So as soon as you see the, we'll just GG. As soon as you see those arrows, you need to back out of the hitbox of Adina.
Yeah.
Don't be that close to the boss. You'll spawn. There you go. Alright.
Come then. You won't live to see Kadim's dominion. Or mine.
Everyone to your spot. Cerulus, you're welcome to be a little bit closer to the boss, that way you're actually receiving boons. And then everyone back in. So like, now that I know that there's no pillars to bait, I'm literally in the group. To your pylon.
Transferring to thanatology.
Everyone back in, and we're baiting again. Pillars out. And we're back in. And we don't need to be baiting anymore. Out of the hitbox, out of the hitbox. Nice. Or we phase every 25%, so if like you're paranoid about it, you can always tell when the phase is about to happen. To spiral. Dodge this if you want to feel cool. If you got hit by that, then you weren't in the bubble. Move in the bubble. Nice. And then tank, you can head over there now. Perfect, just like that. Everyone out. To your pillars. Everyone back in and we're baiting again. We're phasing in 12%. Pillars out. We're probably gonna hit phase here soon. Alright, everyone out of the hitbox, out of the hitbox, out of the hitbox.
The balance is outworn.
Nice. You're always welcome to be literally this close to the boss as I am. It makes it way less stressful. Just don't ever touch her hitbox. And we're meeting up at Star. Come to me at Star. It's actually a little bit in front of Star. But I don't have any more markers. Okay, you move the bubble. Everyone in the bubble. And you can move it halfway now.
You'll be feeling that one for days.
Just like that. Good job. You move it. And the tank can start heading over. Pillars out. The floor now just looks different. looks like a fun fight. Yeah, it's a blast of a fight. Everyone to your pillars. Especially in CM, where your pillars destroy the floor, so you have to be mindful of where you're dropping them.
Protected. A wonderful combination.
Pillars out. We're going to be phasing here in 3%. Out of the hitbox. Out of the hitbox. Alright, we're meeting up at Star again. Same place as before. Now, this next phase is again exactly the same, but I may call for bubbles in the middle of the fight. Pick them up, pick them up. Move it. Nice. We want to try to have as much DPS during this phase because we want to get as little stacks of erosion on our tank. Tank start hitting there. Nice. Pillars out.
She kicked me down.
Yeah, that's that cone if you didn't block it or have stability.
Maybe I blocked too early.
Alright, bubble up. Just throw a bubble in the center. Head to your pillar, and then you can just kind of be this close. Go back in tank. Go back in tank. Okay, this is our DPS race. Head to your pillars.
Still standing. Barely. At least I'm dreaming.
Pick this tank up, pick this tank up. It's going to become very difficult to tank right now. DPS, DPS, DPS.
Assistance, please.
Alright. Phenomenal pull. Our DPS was just a little low in that final fight. It looked like our tank got a lot of stacks of erosion, so they were taking quite a bit of damage. But you have seen literally the whole fight. So the hands that spawn in that final phase, there's the first one over here on Spiral. That one starts throwing out erosion. It's the scarier of the one, because it kind of puts a timer on how long our tank can live. The second one that spawns is over here on Star, and what it does is it's the knockback hand, so it's real scary if our DPS becomes a little bit low and we have to leave that up for too long. But overall, it looked really good. We'll go ahead and give it another pull unless anyone had any questions. Alright, here we go.
Come then. You won't live to see Kadim's dominion. Or mine.
Zero tolerance.
Out of group. Look at you guys. You are already professionals at this fight.
The new dawn will find you wanting.
My role has ended.
Cerulean, you're going to want to stand a little bit closer. I'm noticing that you have pretty low quickness on yourself, just because you're not standing close enough. I realize you're kiting, but so come back in, and then notice how I'm like right in here. That way I'm receiving all my boons. Yeah, just like that. All right, to your pot. Are everyone out?
I've already risen above the cardinals of water and fire. Air is no more than chatter.
And we're over here on Spiral. Dodge the shockwave. If you're taking damage from that and you're just confused how, it's because you're dodging the air one instead of the earth shockwave that actually does the hurt. We head over there.
Eat pain.
Oh, someone took my pillar. That's fine. I thought I had axe out and I dashed in and thought pillar. To your markers. I think you're going to be over here. Nice. Good adjustment.
I miscalculated the odds.
And we're back in.
This is my wrath.
We're 4% till phase. We might hit it right during the blind phase. Nice. We're still getting out of the hitbox.
The balance is outworn.
And we're over on Star.
Protected. Beautiful blend of talents.
Move the bubble. Nice. So one thing I always recommend doing when you're crossing here, our Rev is being really good about this bubble, but usually when you pug, not everyone's as good with the bubble as what's been happening, is always watch this hand that we're on now, and when it throws, you will dodge.
I may not survive.
Tank go, and we'll pick them up.
I require assistance.
I think we lost one of the.
We did lose one. Pillars out of group.
Glorious combination of skill.
Make sure that we're stacking back up correctly.
Let's roll.
Everyone out. So here's where we'll explain something cool you can do if ever you can't make it to your pillar. Pillar's out, by the way. You can... That's going to be a GG. You can actually jump into the sand if you time it correctly, and use the floor to tank the stone dagger.
I think you can put up your sheet early. That's what I did probably. Because I put up my 5, so...
Going to above. Here we go.
Fury rising.
You won't live to see Kadim's dominion or mine.
Hurts, doesn't it?
You will be blinded by the
To your pillars.
rise.
Our boons are looking a lot better. Good job, everyone.
Earth shall inherit all.
Out of the hip.
I've already risen above the cardinals of water and fire. Air is no more
And
than
jump.
chatter.
Remember, this is over on Spiral that we're meeting up. Be in your bubble.
Eat pain.
Need some healing here.
My advice would be for the tank to move a little bit earlier, but it's really not that big
I'm
of a deal.
stuck below the ground.
That is unfortunate. We're gonna continue. Did you get pillar underground? Actually, we'll
Yep.
just GG. Okay, so
I
I
was wondering how my time
didn't really explain this because there's not, because it is a bug. So if you are gliding and you are barely under the ground, where a pillar is going to come up, even if like you're on ground level, it's not gonna see a collision there, and you're just gonna fall through and be stuck inside a pillar in the floor, and just slowly die. My advice is don't walk over or don't fly over anything you know, or when the floor is about to change.
Okay, I tried jumping at the same time the fort changed.
Yeah. There, yeah. It's a bug. It's an unfortunate one, but by being, you can always see which tiles are about to disappear because they'll be like glowing yellow. Don't be near those, or be on those and then jump right before they explode, or just be on the ones that will stay, is my best advice for that.
Come then. You won't live to see Kadim's dominion.
One thing that's really nice about this fight being real repetitive is the more you do it, you'll pretty much never get caught in the floor. To your pillars.
You're kidding, right?
This is my wrath.
Protected.
Pillars out.
Never capitulate.
Earth shall inherit all.
Out of the hitbox.
I've already risen above the cardinals of water and fire. Air is no more than chatter.
We're over by Spiral. I'm seeing that people that are choosing to dodge, not taking any damage, which is really cool.
Hoorah! Protected. You can't stop me.
Tank head over there. Nice. You'll know that you got there on time when she doesn't hit the group as we're heading back to the boss.
The new dawn will find you wanting.
Like pain.
We're gonna phase here before we have to go back in. Oh, you did not move in time. I think you were typing or DC'd or something. Out of the hitbox. Out of the hitbox.
The balance.
The balance is outworn.
Where point?
We are meeting up on Star, where that tablet is, to be particular.
Protected. You'll be feeling that one for days.
Move it.
Protected.
Good jump if you're down there. Cool, you made it back up.
Help me over here.
Get ready to dodge. Nice. Good cleanish phase. The pillar's out. Somebody might get a pillar that wasn't supposed to. Oh, you took it to the same location. Nice.
Attack.
You're kidding, right?
And so just drop it on that same pillar. Yep, just like that.
Miscalculated. Eat pain.
To your pillars.
Protected.
Why should there be
Out of the hitbox.
when one alone can command a
Alright, we're meeting up on Star for this one.
That feels better.
I may not survive.
Cool, no one's on the floor. Bubble. Get to the bubble.
This is my wrath.
Move it. Dodge.
Protected.
Knowledge is power. Someone help me! History is mine.
Make sure we're picking our friends up. Tank, go ahead and head there.
I'll destroy you all.
Pick our friend up, but don't drop a pillar on him or he dies. Okay, this is a DPS check. After we come back, we're going to throw our bubble up.
End you.
Pick this person up, pick them up, pick them up. Alright, bubble out.
Protected.
Alright, big DPS. We are on a timer of how long we get to live. To your pillars.
Huh, you're kidding me, right?
Protected.
Pick our tank up. Pillars out, pillars out, pillars out.
Not damage.
I don't care where you're taking them, just out. Pick our tank up. DPS, DPS, DPS. This is a losing fight, just DPS. Don't worry about anything else. Get to your pylons. Alright, we're gonna play the random tank game. Everyone's spread out in a semi. Okay. Nope. GG. 5% closer than our last time. Alright. We've been going for an hour, so we'll take like a 5-minute break.
Okay.
How's everyone enjoying Adina?
Yeah, it's a nice boss.
We'll probably give it 15 more minutes before we swap over, and that way you guys can at least learn Sabir. Sabir people struggle with less, but as a new group, but compared to Adina, experienced traders struggle with Sabir more than Adina.
How about the third boss of this wing?
The
Do
third
you
boss,
reach it, or-
we're definitely not reaching that today. QTP, QTP is not hard. I just don't I haven't trained it yet because it requires a bunch of special rolls. It's probably the hardest fight to tank, so nobody likes to tank it. Although it's not that bad of a tanking fight. 3 of your DPS have to be pylon guiders, which essentially means they're either Deadeye or Scourge, and they're standing off group doing mechanics. Okay, no worries. Did anyone in chat want to take over and DPS on Adina? Bye, Brainrock. But yeah, there's a lot of moving parts to QTP. It's just none of them are hard.
So it's just people actually having to deal with mechanics. A bunch of DPS.
Everyone has a job in that fight, is where it's difficult. There's nobody who gets kind of a free ride and doesn't have to do mechanics. And if one person does a mechanic wrong, it's usually a wipe. I would say it's harder than Sloth. Sloth is just very punishing. But there's many people that don't have jobs in Sloth. And you can get by with a fixate not moving and so on. What makes Sloth difficult is you just have to have good DPS is what it boils down to. The better your DPS, the less time you're out there, which means the less slubs are there. That's why I think a lot of pugs struggle with Sloth. Oh, yeah. Kind of, but I think you can get by not knowing the Sloth mechanics and just eating every single mechanic. You'll probably die, but it's not going to actively throw your group unless you're killing slubs. Alright, nobody in chat responded, so we'll go ahead and poll from Discord.
I remember the first time I tried that boss after you did a training with us. It went well, except for the fact that as soon as I ate a mushroom, I got pulled into 3 guardian traps.
Yeah.
That was the fastest boss I've ever done. As a wipe, of course.
One of my favorite clips is I'm in a raid static with Clam and Aralozen. And we had another streamer, Dura, filling in for us that week. And Aralozen was banners, which is typically your first slub one. And then like right as he ate the mushroom, Dura's like 5 gold for if anyone kills Aralozen. And without hesitation, Clam just like Axe 3 pulls him in and kills him.
Oh,
I think it was 20 gold, but yeah.
nice.
Yo,
What's up? Alright. How are you?
I'm doing great. How's all of you?
Doing good. We got to 10% on Adina and then 5% on Adina. So everyone pretty much knows the fight. It's just getting the kill. We are only doing a few pulls on Adina before we move over to learning Sabir.
It was Laystone Axis or Basalt Arena?
Basalt.
Yeah, now comes the annoying part. I have no idea what I'm doing yet.
Are you new to this fight?
A little bit. Watched the video a long time ago. I think I will catch up to it when we do it.
But have you done the fight?
No.
Okay, so I will give you an explanation. Oh, you're already here. Okay. Can I have you guys jump if you were my pillar baits? Okay, so the person who left wasn't pillar baiting. Awesome. What this means for you is I want you on the stone or the mossy stone tile when the fight starts, as close up to Adina's butt as you can. The reason for this is the 5 furthest person from Adina are going to get pillars that they're going to drop just like this. They're going to take it to whichever marker that they started on. It'll drop and then they come back in. Like 15-ish seconds later, Adina is going to do a little twirl around, get an eye over her head, and then channel a shoot daggers at everyone. And unless you are behind a pillar, you are going to go downstate from this mechanic. This is also the first thing that happens at the start of the fight. So what you're going to want to do is run back to whatever pillar you started on. If something ever goes wrong, and you get a pillar, then you're not supposed to, just take it out of group and not in front of the boss. I don't care where. Typically by heart is where I tell people, but it doesn't matter too much. And then we will adjust. Do pillars make sense?
You think so?
Okay.
It's pretty much just blocking the attack.
Blocking it by line of sighting behind the stone. Channeling or block won't actually work. That's honestly like 80% of the fight. The other thing is every 25%, she's going to become invincible and shoot out a Sabbath of Flame Wall both north and south that goes 1 revolution. It's just a death wall that if you touch it will kill you. After the first one, we're meeting up on Spiral. After the next 2, or the remaining ones, we meet over here kind of by Star. It's a little bit more south to Star, but it's by Star. From there we are going to be beating up on hands that do a bunch of horrible things. The only thing that you need to watch out for is our Revenant is bringing a bubble. Stand in that bubble. If you are not, you need to pay attention to either the arrow hand or the hand over here and dodge their attack, because it's a knockback that feels sad. Any questions on that?
Nope.
All right. And that's pretty much the whole boss. There's really no difference between the second and third phase other than the floor. In the final phase, there's just hands that kind of make it a DPS check. Here we go. Make sure you stand behind the pillar, don't run in.
Don't live to see Kadim's dominion.
Alright, run in. Beyond the moss if you are not kiting.
Knowledge is power.
Oh, someone stole a pillar. Just take it out.
What? Damn it, yeah, that was me, apparently.
Circle, yours is over by Spiral.
Protected.
Head to your pillars.
What have you done?
Don't ever have 3 up on a pillar. I got the res, don't worry about it.
That feels better.
Pillars out. And back in.
Protected.
Out of the hitbox, out of the hitbox. This is the twister phase. We're meeting up on Spiral. If you want to feel cool, dodge the shockwave, the stone ripple, not the actual air.
Protected.
And be in this bubble. It was really nice to us. If you ever get knocked back, that's because you didn't dodge the bubble. Or you weren't in the bubble or you didn't dodge. Now it's the exact same phase as before, but now it's a little ninja star. To your pillars.
Shit.
Pillars out. Out of the hitbox, out of the hitbox, out of the hitbox. Oh, you scared me a little bit there, Tank. I thought that was going to kill you if I was being honest. Oh, right, we're meeting up over by Star.
Protected.
Be in the bubble.
That's how I do it.
Alright, as you cross, look at the hand diagonal from us and dodge when it throws, if you're not in that bubble. Pick our friend up. Back in. To your pillars. That's too many over there. Make sure you pick them up.
I might not make it.
Pillars out.
Eat pain.
I regret nothing.
What NPC death do I keep hearing? Huh. Just find it funny. Oh, one thing to my person who just joined us, if you ever fall in the ground, it's not a death. Out of the hitbox, out of the hitbox. It will just bounce you up. Don't panic and jump unless we rezzed you from down states. Then you have to jump once. We're meeting up on Star. Oh.
Protected.
Okay, circle and heart, you are now merging together. So I want you to place your pillars on top of one another. Jump, jump. It's not a fast enough, you're just too far to the outside. The closer you are to the center, the slower you can be about rotating around. In fact, that's kind of what I recommend. Tank, go ahead and head there. Remember, we are having merge. People make it pillars that aren't supposed to be pillars. Oh, our tank died. GG. Oops. I was like, why is she turning around? We're looking good. We'll go ahead and give it one more pull before we move
So one
on.
question.
Yeah.
There were 2 times there where I accidentally got a pillar.
Because you weren't close enough to the boss. I'm assuming it's because you're on Daredevil. Oh, GG. Well, I'll explain this. I'm assuming it's because you are on Daredevil, and dodged out of the moss area. Just be more mindful.
Not dodge at all, but it could have been happening. Yeah.
Wait, you weren't dodging at all?
I'm trying to, at least. It might have been automatic on mine.
But yeah, you'll want to be as close up Adina's hitbox, but as you can without being in front of her, because she hits like a truck. Oh yeah, start the fight mounted. Here we go.
Come then. You won't live to see Kadim's dominion. Or mine.
Refreshing. I feel energized.
Doesn't it?
You're kidding, right?
And so now, because no pillars are happening, you can be as close or as far as boss out of the hitbox as you need.
About the cardinals of water and fire. There is no more than chatter.
Over on Spiral is where we're meeting. Be in the bubble.
You'll be doing that one for days.
Been away for a few minutes. Yeah, we had someone drop and we picked up someone new.
Protected.
And this is also our last pull. To your pillars. And back in.
A beautiful blend of talents.
Never capitulate.
We're gonna phase here soon. Alright, out of the hitbox.
Destroying the balance.
The balance is outworn.
You guys can be a little bit closer. It just makes running from it easier. We're meeting up over on Star.
That had to hurt.
Be in the bubble.
Refreshing. I feel energized.
Follow the bubble. Dodge. Nice. Tank can head over. Pick our friend up.
Zero tolerance. Protected.
To your pillars. Pillars about to be given. Pillars out. We're phasing in 4%. Out of the hitbox.
When one alone can command the power.
We're meeting over by Star this time. It's a little bit south of it, but oh, I almost got stuck in the floor. But I am not in the floor, so we are okay. Follow the bubble. Remember to look diagonal and dodge if it's throwing at us. Pick our friend up. We do have a lot of stacks of erosion. Everyone's taking 15% increased damage. Make sure we're picking our friend up. Alright, DPS your hearts out. Here is where there is a subtle DPS check. Alright, head to this. After we come back, we're going to put Bubble up. We will not be able to save you, I am sorry.
Yeah, that's fine.
Bubble up.
Refreshing. I feel energized.
It's most important to make sure that it's over the tank, which I think it is. And you're just going to leave it in the center. %, I believe. Head to your pillars. 2% just DPS.
This is my wrath.
Nice.
Last try. we needed the pressure.
You need the motivation. Isn't Adina fun?
You sure impacted the city's energy balance. But
I got
think
a
it's
lamp.
getting more volatile.
Hey, congrats. I think that's a focus, and then head back to the Laystone
No,
exit.
like a mini. I got a lamp.
I'm getting some food.
Okay.
Food buff.
Okay, you're welcome to just be in normal heal or gear anymore. We don't need a tank anymore. Or you can. Whatever you have. It doesn't really matter too much.
Just switch things up then. Move. Can I switch back to electricity? Nicot? No, sorry, I'm the equipment.
You can be whatever class for heal quickness you'd like. Alright, we're just gonna clear out these ads here.
I'm going for quickness firebrand. It's easier.
Okay, heal brand?
Yeah.
Okay, sounds good.
Protected.
So, as we clear out these things, you'll notice that there are, or you're getting charges, and then you'll get a special action key. It's that little rift that indicates your charge. If you get to these updrafts here, it removes all stacks of that charge, and shoots it outward. That is so loud, Wisp, you just jump scared me. There's like lore where a Wisp just like backtalks Sabir, and it was super loud, and I didn't remember it being that loud. Alright, beat up the guy that backtalked Sabir. And then they drop little jump pads for us to get to the next platform. So watch out for these red AoEs, they hurt a lot. That's what the Wisps cast. Alright, and then you just head to an updraft, head over here. Alright, and don't get too close to Sabir, because he pulls pretty easily. So we're just coming right here. Wait for everyone to get over here.
The fracas is finished. You're
Oh,
wasting your time
we pulled.
and mine.
GG.
You weren't joking that he pulls easily?
Yep. He Angie.
Oops. Yeah.
Alright, we don't have much time for Sabir. Probably like 45 minutes. But he is also kind of an easier boss for Path of Fire ones. So, Sabir has 3 phases. The first 2 are very simple and they kind of teach you the pace, and then things will massively ramp up in the 3rd phase. In his first phase, we are just going to be stacking here. I'm not going to keep this arrow here because the platforms change as we ascend upward. But we basically just stand right there. And he is technically a toughness-based fight, meaning that there is a tank, and it's whoever has the highest toughness. However, it doesn't really matter. The reason for that is we actually all want to get hit by him. When he attacks, he shoots out like these little static electricity. And getting hit by that gives you a charge of a special action key. You also, I believe you deal increased damage, but I know you take increased damage from having this. But that's completely fine. What the special action key does is it's a dash or a teleport, and wherever you land CCs things. So, what this first fight is going to look like is we're going to run at him, DPS him at like 90%. He is going to get a CC phase, where he is going to be pushing us back and shooting out 3 lines that rotate in a triangular formation. Don't get hit by these lines because they'll try to push you off the platform. During this, you're just going to use your special action key to dash right in front of him. Try not to dash behind him, because that will get you killed in later instances of this fight. After we CC him, using special action key and any other CC that you have, we are going to have to spread out, similar to what happens in Whisper, where we spread out, lightning bolts hit, and then we regroup back up right here on arrow. At 80%, he is going to phase. He does a knockdown attack. You can dodge it to look cool, but it doesn't really matter. At which point you are going to go to where circle is and kill a bunch of those wisps like we did just to get back up here. At which point, if you look up, we are heading to the 2nd platform. So the 2nd platform is where things get a little spicy. At 75%, he does a move called Shockwave. You'll also notice that there are tornadoes flying around the room. If you get hit by these tornadoes, they're going to throw you up in the air, and you'll lose all charges of your special action key. To dodge Shockwave, what you are going to do is head to an updraft. Now, because it gets rid of all your special action key, I recommend just using your special action key to dash on top of a tornado, glide for a little bit, and then fall back down where arrow would be. That's the only new mechanic that's added there. There is still the same CC phase and so on. It's just shockwaves happen way more frequently than you think they would. After we get him down to 60%, he is going to dip out again, and we have to chase him up a staircase, kind of like what we saw in the pre-phase. Any questions so far? All right, we'll go ahead and do a poll.
In terms of Rev, do I still need the bubble, or can I swap it out for something else?
You can swap it out for something else.
Oh,
Although I will
is it-
ask one of my mechanists to bring Barrier Signet.
Is it just the bubble that's needed, the Rev bubble, that's just needed for the first boss?
Yes. So here is where Heal Revenant is like really, really good. Is ideally you tank Adina on Heal Rev, so that way you have that bubble and still are doing Centauri heals. And then there are wisps that shoot out micro stuns during this phase, and the bubble is nice there. However, it's not. The bubble isn't a must, so it's fine to drop it.
What's a good heal Rev if I ever decide to make one?
Does Snowcrow still have one? I know it just runs Harriers. Revenant. Heal Alacrity Renegade. I'll post it in the EU channel.
Alright, I'll check
It
out.
is. It's good and it's bad. So in fights where it's good, it's extremely good. However, where it falls short is in lower skill groups. If you're not stacking very tightly, it won't heal. Its heal radius is super small.
Alright.
But otherwise, it's a decent healer that also provides alacrity.
Alright.
It also gives might and prot. So here we go. Pulling in 3, 2, 1.
The fracas is finished.
So we're just going to stack up right here on tag. I want you stacked tightly because you want to get hit by his attacks.
That's how I did it.
So notice you'll have a special action key. Don't use it. We are going to hit a CC phase here. Alright, special action key, and use any CCs that you have. Don't get hit by that blast attack.
Protected.
Try to only dash in front of him because you don't want to be on the other, or get knocked through him because he pushes you back. Spread out. And back in. Make sure we pick our friends up.
Fully functional.
Why should I fight and lose when I can?
Alright, we phased. Try to avoid getting hit by those red AoEs. They do a lot of damage. So, the only thing about this next platform is don't touch the red tornado. It will straight up kill you. Don't even glide over it. See how I glide around it? And then I'm not going to make it, so I just come back over here and back up. If you ever fail this phase, and like fall off, there are updrafts to get back up, but there is a chance you don't come back to us. Alright, stack up tightly, stack up tightly. We have a shockwave in 4%, or 3, 2, 1. Updraft, 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 or you die. Pick our friends up.
I was getting tired of lying around.
Make sure we're rezzing everyone. You have to be in the air, not the updraft for this. Alright, this is free CC. Just CC as you get it. You can also use your own class CC. For my banners, if you have maces with the paralyzing signet, I would pull those out because you'll deal increased CC damage. Spread out, spread out, spread out. We're gonna have shockwave here soon. Updraft, updraft, updraft. Nice, no one got hit by that. We're about to phase. Alright, here's where things get spicy. So, at 55%, a quarter of the platform will get taken up by a giant death tornado. If you ever touch this tornado, you die. Additionally, his next CC phase will be a group CC in which I will call out for us to special action key together. In addition to shockwaves, he also has corners, where I will call for you to get to a corner that has a bubble in it. That's all I will explain for now. Alright, stack up tightly where I am. You don't want to be anywhere else.
I wield great wisdom.
Updraft, updraft, updraft. Pick them up quickly, pick them up quickly, pick them up quickly. Nice. Alright, this is a group CC. Please do not try to get hit by tornadoes. 3, 2, 1, use your CC. Spread out. Do not touch that big tornado. We are moving, moving, moving. Get to a corner over here. Or any corner works, as long as it has a bubble over it. Alright, we'll go ahead and GG. Fantastic. I didn't think we would handle Shockwave so well. Did anyone have any questions on the first two phases? I'll explain the third in more detail. Awesome. Okay. So, in that third phase, the first thing that's going to happen is a giant tornado is going to appear. So remember when I said make sure when you special action key you land right in front of Sabir, don't land on any side or behind him? That's because depending on where you are, if you dash through him, he'll push you out of his hitbox and into that tornado. So it is very scary. Next was corners. Two corners are going, or in opposite ends, are going to get bubbles over them, and he's going to channel a destroy the area. Try to head to the one that the tornado is not going to gloss over, but one second, I need to blow my nose, but it's not the biggest deal. Alright, sorry about that. The next thing that's going to happen is that 40% wisps are going to spawn. For my banners friend, do you have offhand mace on your other weapon set? Does it? Or can you link me your maces? No, the actual weapons. I just want to see what runes you have. Perfect. So, I'm going to have you deal with the wisp mechanic. What these wisps do is platforms will spawn off the main platform. And these wisps are going to shoot little paralyzing bolts at us. They don't do much damage, but they do micro stun you. Which doesn't sound like a big deal, but when there's a lot of them grouped up, it's going to start become impossible to move, and then you're going to die to the tornado or any other mechanic. So, it is your job to deal with these. What you're going to do is I will call out for Wisp has spawned. What you're going to do is swap to your maces, wait for your special action key to build up. You'll then special action key to teleport on top of the Wisp across the platform. And because you have your paralyzing sigil, it's going to instantly break the CC bar of the Wisp. If it doesn't do it fully, you may just have to mace CC it. to give it the exposed buff, swap to your axes, and then kill it very quickly. And then you just come back. That's all you have to do. Any questions on that?
I'm the banners guy. So I use my special action key to teleport from the main platform onto the other one, or do I fly across and land on the platform before I use my special action key?
The wisps are going to have CC bars, and the special action key has a CC or a large CC built into it. So what you actually do is you essentially walk to the edge of the platform. You can then teleport from one platform to another directly on top of the wisp, and it should just instantly break its CC bar.
Okay, so I don't fall off the cliff if I'm not on the other platform. It teleports across platforms.
Yes.
Okay.
If you accidentally get hit by a tornado, it's going to remove your special action key, at which point come back to the group. We don't want you just like flying over there to kill it, because it'll take too long and you'll probably go downstate. You have a large window to do this. It's not the biggest of deal if you're not there right when it happens. Just wait till your CC bar builds up, head over there, teleport over there.
Got it.
Alright. Now, for my mech, if you can bring Barrier Signet and just not activate it until I call out for it. The reason we don't want to activate this off cooldown is because it deletes all projectiles, and so if you use it during bad moments... Oh, sorry, one second. If you use it during bad moments, it's actually going to prevent us from getting the CC bar. Or the special action key. Yes. However, it's really nice to have in the last phase. Around 20% if banners fails to kill the wisps, or it's a little slow and there's just like 13 wisps shooting at us and it's impossible to move, you just throw up barrier and it allows us to finish the boss off under a safer circumstance. It's kind of just a fail-safe. Alright. Does anyone have any questions? Because that is the whole fight. Oh, the one I asked about corners? Yeah, so it's always going to be in two corners, and they'll always be in opposite ends of the room. Two of the corners will be bad. Two of the corners will have safety bubbles over them. Yep. Alright. Then we'll do a ready check and another poll. Alright, here we go.
The fracas is finished. You're wasting your time and mine.
Zero tolerance. Knowledge is power.
Remember, at 90% we're going to have that CC phase.
Attack.
CC the boss?
It only is now.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes. What's up?
I don't know, I couldn't move anymore and I don't...
You can't move?
I couldn't move anymore, I can't.
Days.
Why should I fight and lose when I can acquiesce to your name and survive?
I'm unsure what you mean by you couldn't move. You can't move into the Sabir's hitbox if that's what you're talking about. He pushes you out of it.
Yeah, but I couldn't move at all. I think something on my windows popped up. I don't know. trying to get up.
Alright, we'll go ahead on GG.
Sorry.
No worries. Oop. Alright. Do another quick ready check. Here we go.
The fracas is finished. You're wasting your time and mine.
That feels better. Eat pain.
Okay, so you do an increased damage. Glad I remembered that correctly. Use your CC and your special action keys. Make sure we're rezzing everyone.
Why should I fight and lose when I can acquiesce to the inevitable and survive?
Protected.
Don't touch the red tornado of death. Try to head to an updraft. Everyone, don't go up. Don't go up. Let's go ahead and GG. I think someone accidentally dashed off the edge. Yeah. No worries. Look at all you special people with your flying mounts. And here we go.
The fracas is finished. You're wasting your time and mine.
Rising. I wield great wisdom. Suffer.
Push against fate and hasten your pain.
Use your CC. Spread out. Phasing in 4%.
A wonderful combination.
Why should I fight and lose when I can acquiesce to the inevitable and survive?
How very satisfying.
Oh, I got my Elemental Slayer. Let's go. I'm surprised these count as elementals and not plants. For those that don't know, anything in the raids usually count as plants because they don't want you using potions that increase your damage to elementals to try to get like advantages that way. Alright, remember at 75% we have a Shockwave.
History is mine.
You cannot win against this
Updraft, updraft, updraft. Nice. Alright, use your CC as you get it. Spread out. Nice. %7 till phase. We will probably hit another shockwave here soon. Yep, there's shockwave. Updraft, updraft. Nice, no one got hit.
The first to join the winning side reaps the greatest rewards.
I chose you. Protected.
We're at 75%. There is going to be a red tornado of death.
75.
Yep, or sorry, 55. Updraft. Pro tip: if you stand exactly where I am and not on any white tiles lines, you are not going to get hit by any of those tornadoes. This is a group CC, so try not to get hit by any wind walls. Alright, 3, 2, 1, use your special action key. Nice, spread out, but watch out for the tornado. Alright, we are rotating, coming to where I am. Next is corners. Alright, head to corners. Where are they? Oh, they're over here. Pick them up.
That feels better.
Wisps are here. Updraft, updraft, updraft. Come to where I am. Pick them up. Or as soon as you get the special action key, you're going to head over there. Rotating. We're waiting till enough people. 3, 2, 1, use your special action key. And okay, we did get it. Nice. Spread out, spread out. Pick them up quickly. Rotating all the way around here. There's corners. Head to the corners, head to the corners. Wisps are back up.
Refreshing. I feel energized.
Rotating.
Structural integrity.
This is free CC. Use it as you get it. There's still another wisp up for when you get your special action. You just head over there. Oh. Try to pick me up quickly. I'm gonna die. Don't worry. Don't save me. Just save yourself. All right. Keep DPSing the boss. Head to corners. Corners. Corners.
Yeah.
We have quite a lot of wisps up. Rotate. You always want to be where the tornado last was. Updraft, updraft, updraft. Pick our friends up. This is a group CC. Alright, this is going to be a GG. Really good attempt, 17%. I need some food. I thought I ate food. Oh. Nope. Alright, how is everyone feeling with Sabir? You've seen the entire fight. He's very fast paced, but his mechanics, but he's not that complicated. There's just a lot of mechanics.
It gets a bit chaotic at the end.
Yeah. Alright, here we go.
The fracas is finished. You're wasting your time and mine.
We're gonna have a CC phase here.
And hasten your pain.
Watch out for the red line. 5% till phase.
Why should I fight and lose when I can acquiesce to the inevitable and survive?
Attack!
Or 75% is the first shockwave. Three, 2, 1, shockwave. Updraft. Oh. Remember, you can glide in here. So wait till the shockwave actually passes over us. Use your CC as you get it. Updraft. We're phasing.
The first to join the winning side reaps the greatest rewards.
Attack! This is my wrath.
Watch out for the red tornadoes. There are 2 of them now.
I'm hurting here.
Right, we did lose someone. We lost 2 people. Ooh. Updraft. It is a group CC. I will call out when we use it. Three, 2, 1, go. My advice is after we group CC that, is just use any additional CC you have. Corners.
I chose you.
Rotating. Updraft. Pick them up quickly, but don't get yourself killed. Nope. Alright, whiffs are here. This is a group CC. Rotate. He takes less damage the longer he's in here. One more to get. 3, 2, 1. Use it in any CC you have. Just okay, nice. We got it. Group back up. If we lose anybody, it's probably not going to be doable.
You'll be doing that one for
Rotating.
days.
Corners. And back in. Rotating. Wisps are back up. Head over there when you have special action key, but watch the tornado. Rotate.
Push against fate and hasten your pain.
This is free CC. Use it as you get it. Or try not to dash through. Spread out. Wisps are back up. Head over there when you can. We're grouping back up right here. We're gonna have Shockwave here soon. Oh, this is corners, my bad. Pick them up quickly. Don't get hit by this. Alright, nice. Good recovery. We lost someone. We might still be updraft, updraft, updraft.
Much better.
Alright, ignoring whiffs, throw up barrier if you have it. This is a group CC. We need everyone to have their CC. And we may still not be able... Oh, we just lost another one. Let's go ahead and GGE. Good attempt. So yeah, the longer he... Come again?
That's not a ley line which works. I thought it worked.
No. So the longer he's in that group CC, he'll start getting stacks. For every stack he has, he deals 5% more damage and takes 5% less, and it caps at 20%, to which we can physically not harm him. At that point, we lose. If we can't CC him. Alright. Giving it another pull. Here we go.
You're wasting your
Fast
time
as the
and
wind.
mine.
I wield great wisdom. That had to hurt. A wonderful combination.
There's an electrifying change in the air.
All makes sense now.
Good job spreading out.
Natural integrity. Compromised. That feels better. Protected.
Why should I fight and lose when I can acquiesce to the inevitable and survive?
Watch out for the tornado. I wouldn't fly over it.
time.
Okay, we're gonna have Shockwave here right now. Updraft. Well, let's just go ahead and GG. We lost someone. Did you fall off the platform?
Yeah, I didn't make it the last one.
Gotcha. Alright, a quick ready check and we'll give it another pull. I know the first two phases of Sabir get old real quick as you're learning it.
The fracas is finished.
It's only that last phase that's kind of really difficult.
There's an electrifying change in the air.
This is my wrath. You'll be feeling that one for days.
I want you guys stacking tighter on me. I see some people aren't getting boons.
Why should I fight and lose when I can acquiesce to the inevitable and survive?
No.
Watch out for the tornado. Stack tightly for boons. Updraft. Nice, no one got hit by it.
There's an electrifying change in the air.
I chose you.
Free CC, use it as you get it.
Transferring to thanatology.
Good spreads. Updraft. Pick our friends up.
Glorious combination of skills.
Good job. Looks like we have everyone. We can go ahead and head up.
Protected. Standing. Barely.
You've been struck.
Gonna have Shockwave here soon. Updraft. Alright, this is group CCs. Save your special action keys. 3, 2, 1, use it. Spread out. Group back on me. Corners. After this is going to be wisps.
Question my choices, and I will cripple you.
Group up on me. Head over to wisps when you get special action key. Updraft. Pick them up. And group up on me.
I'm up. I'm up.
Watch the tornado as you come back. Nice. This is a group CC. We're rotating. 3, 2, 1. Use it. Nice. Spread out. Stacking up on me. Next wisp is up. When you have special action key, go ahead and head over there. Rotating. Corners. Rotate. Next group of wisps are up. This is free CC. Use it as you get it. That's not where I wanted to go. That's a panic moment. Alright, spread out. Group up on me.
Need some healing here.
Corners.
You cannot move against what's coming.
And group up on me. Okay, we're not doing wisps anymore.
Feels better.
Rotate.
I'm the Cardinal of Air. You cannot kill
Updraft.
me.
Pick them up. Pick them up. Nice. Good job.
I want that.
And that is the Cardinals.
Rare treasure.
It was very chaotic.
Yeah, wait till you see the last boss of this fight. I am going to call it here. I'll show you guys where an achievement is really quick though. Head to the lay rift, just to head back really quick, and go to the Laystone Axis.
Your champions did well. Their tactics.
What did you do?
I knew it! The pylon, the fountain, you, the cardinals.
In the
it's all
meantime,
connected to the
I will
ley line
upload the
and to
logs.
Kadim. I've made
You tamper with energies you do not understand.
but I do understand ley lines. Here, use this flux disruptor on the pylons. It'll break Kadim's connection to the.
I will not see Jin weaknesses exploited by you inside our own home. The fate of Jin is not for outsiders to determine.
We're ready to do whatever it takes to defeat Kadim and save all the Jinn. Are you?
Our power is only meant to be handled by Jin. But I can dampen the effects on you using the Well of Adashim.
Could we reconfigure the well to reverse the flow and drain Kadim of power?
As long as his stolen power channels to me. If the city is lost, I'll ensure the infection won't spread beyond Adashim.
There are the logs. Sorry, we're just waiting on lore to get to the last boss fight. Now or tomorrow? I haven't even trained QTP on NA, where I have a bunch of accounts and know people. I'm down to do it on Friday, but there's a lot of specific roles that go into this fight. So if you just run into the fountain and start dancing, if 5 people do this, you'll get the achievement.
You are an abomination, Kadim, and a disappointment.
Out of curiosity, how many people here have pylon kite builds? So this is a Scourge with Tormenting Runes, or a Deadeye I think it's just a Deadeye. I would need to look at the specific build.
Well, I do have a Deadeye. Just something. I just think I have 1 or 2 trinkets missing, and that's it.
Okay.
I could play as one.
Does a Herald kite also work here, or not really?
So, short answer, yes. Long answer, you have to be gamer. So, Deadeye and Scourge are the two, like, easy, safe ones. There's a few that are really sketchy that can be done. I know Mechanist is one of them. Actually, I don't even think Mechanist is that sketchy. And it can actually do Alacrity from a pylon. I know Ellie can do it. It's not that great at it, but it can do it. It's like a Staff Weaver that does it. I've also seen Heal Catalyst do it. Again, not great and don't recommend, but it is something that can be done. I think Willbender has enough mobility built into its kit. It can, but you aren't really doing any damage on the pylon.
Because the reason I ask that is I have a kiting build with Herald that has a good upkeep on protection in case it's ever needed.
Do you mean like a hand kite build?
Yeah, yeah.
No, it's a completely different thing. So I can give you like a short overview of this fight.
You're definitely bigger and uglier than you were at the
By the way,
Forge,
quickly run
but
to
you
me and be on your
still
roller
won't
beetle
win.
if you want to see something really funny. Oh, never mind. But bye. If you, when he summons those pylons, if you're on a roller beetle, you'll shoot across the room at high speeds. But anyway, so the short explanation of this fight, without actually really training it, is he is channeling power from 3 of those pylons. You have to activate your special action key to attune to the pylon. Oh, someone pulled it.
Fat-fingered.
Yeah, as soon as you enter that inner ring, it pulls the fight. But you activate your special action key to attune to the pylon. The pylon drains your health, but in return it gives you some boons. Additionally, it makes sure that Kadim doesn't retake the pylon. So, you have to have enough sustain built into your kit that you can deal with constant HP drain. Scourge does this by having Torment runes as long as the Blood Magic trait line that does it. And lastly, you need to have a two-way mobility skill or 2 mobility skills. Because orbs will fall at this location around the room, and you need to teleport there, grab it, and come back. Because if you are away from your pylon too long, Kadim will retake it. And that's...
No, I get it. What do you mean it has to be very specific?
Yeah. So it's not like a hand kite where you just sit there and soak damage. But yeah, we'll go ahead and review logs. I'll be reviewing them on stream or they are also posted in Discord.
So on Friday, which wing is going to be done?
I'm unsure. I could do QTP, but I don't think enough people have the build built. I can check. Let me at the Discord. Kadim. there, and there. We'll just see how many people would be interested in it versus how many people can kite. Alright, so back to reviewing the training. First was Adina. There wasn't too much mechanics in Adina. It's kind of pass or fail. That's kind of the way a lot of these are, but I can kind of review it. Blinded was whether or not you looked at the center, which was honestly... So it's either you looked at the center, you fell in sand, or a pillar AoE touched you. It was a little high, not too bad, but a little high. Curses is the stack of erosion. It's really not that big of a deal. Mines is kind of for the tank. It looks like you touched 4 mines, but you live, so it's not the biggest deal. Eye is that blinding that totally can be avoided. So again, there's not too many mechanics to look at for Adina, but what we can look is
looking at the center causes blindness.
What? Yeah, looking at this. Kind of. So after she summons the pillars and I yell "get to the pillar," there's an eye over her head, and if your character's facing this eye, it'll blind you and do some damage to you.
Oh, yeah, okay, I definitely did that.
Was that the pink debuff on me? Because I noticed I've been getting that debuff constantly.
So
I don't know how I get it.
That was if you ever got blinded, your screen is like bright yellow and hurts to look at, as if you just got flashbanged. The debuff was the stacks of erosion, where for every stack you're taking 5% increased damage. Alright. Oh, I don't know why I closed that. Next we move on to boons. Boons look alright. A little low in might, or on might for sub 1. Quickness was a little low in sub 1. Cerulean, you were just standing a little far out for quickness because you weren't close enough to the scrapper to get any boons. So I know you were kiting, but just kind of be closer. You don't need to be so far out. Alacrity looks like it's had the same issue.
The reason my lack was low because, like you said before, I didn't use Alacrity to keep the barrier up no matter what.
Oh yeah, it looks a little bit better in phase 1. Phase 2, it looks... Ooh, in phase 2, our Alacrity in sub 2 dropped quite a bit.
I was in the group 1. I tried to use Alacrity before the hand started, before using the barrier. And after the barrier was done, I just used Alacrity.
So our Spectre...
It took a day of those, isn't
Okay.
that?
Boons overall could use improvement. Some of it was stacking, some of it was just pressing the buttons. Not too much to complain about. And our DPS looks alright.
I think I'm sometimes ahead of using quickness because no one was near me, so...
Yeah.
So I was just following rotation.
I mean, you still do it. The closer you are to Adina, the better chance everyone gets it. The way it's set up, let me head back over to Adina. Like how he smacks talks me as I GG. Basalt Arena. So, I don't know if you're here with me or looking at my stream, but like, when I'm taking Adina, let's pretend this statue is Adina, you can take the Lace Rift back to the Basalt Arena. I am like this close upper butt.
Okay.
just enough so that way she doesn't turn around, but I'm still as close to her as I can. When I'm just DPSing and not kiting, I'm like standing right here. That way I'm close enough for boons and everything. If I am kiting, as a druid, I stand over here and just be a little bit lazy. But everyone's kind of like right here. And so if you stand right here, can I have you stand right here? Okay, and then activate your quickness skills.
Yeah, but
You'll see that I'm still within range of all of that.
the kiters were all running out for the pylons. I hate of pressing my quickness skills.
So as you get more experience, it's not the biggest of deal right now when you're learning it, but you would only press your quickness buttons when they're not dropping pylons.
Yeah, that was what I was trying to do.
Oh, okay.
But
It just takes
I don't know.
practice.
Yeah.
Alright. Back over here. Alright, did anyone have any Adina questions? Why are you threatening me? You're honking and then pointing a gun at me. You know what? No, I'm not going to take... oh, I don't have it set up. I don't have it set up on this one. Alright. I guess I will take it. Alright, so moving back over to Sabir, if no one had any questions. Mechanics, again, there's not too many mechanics on Sabir, it's just whether or not you got hit by a shockwave, which honestly, pretty low for everyone's first time seeing this. Good job. Boons. Boons looked a little better. Sub ones might still a little low. Fury looks alright. Quickness a little low in sub 1.
I was out of the stack a lot.
Gotcha.
I was so focused on not dying and people not dying that I sometimes
No worries.
just forgot to press my...
How was Alacrity?
Alacrity looked good. Sub 2's looks a little low, but that's because we had the banners in our sub who was constantly off group doing mechanics, so we didn't die. Phase 1 Alacrity still a little low, even without banners. Sub 1 Alacrity looked better, Sub 2 still a little low. So maybe just practice a little bit. Moving on to DPS. What was that? Anyway. Basil, your DPS looks a little... Did you die? Was that why?
I died and apparently I had no food buff on the whole time.
Huh.
Actually, did I die? No, I didn't die.
Your DPS in phase 2 and 3 was a little low. Maybe just practice it a little bit more. I know everyone kind of freaks out during phase 2 and 3 because that's when the scary one-shot mechanics start coming. But just practicing your rotation a little bit more will come into it. Any questions? Did we clear Q1? No, we did not even attempt Wing 6. Wing 6 is so cursed. We didn't try QTP, if that's what you're asking. Just because we don't have the roles for it.
Thank you for the training.
Yep, thank you for coming.
Thank you for letting me leech off in the last 2 hours.
Totally fine. Alright, I am going to head off. Bye, guys.
Thank you.